Before we get to Raw, I thought I should talk about the big news that happened this weekend. Brock Lesnar at UFC 226 comes into the ring after Daniel Cormier wins the UFC heavyweight title, shoves him, calls Ngannou a piece of shit, Miocic a piece of shit, says, Daniel Cormier, I'm coming for you, motherfucker, throws the microphone at the camera, which was pretty damn cool. Cut to pro wrestling promo, and that was the big news. So Brock's at UFC, so not much to say anything about WWE. It wouldn't surprise me if they leave the belt on him just to say, we have the WWE champion, he's going for the UFC title, but Brock Lesnar, knowing him, will be too embarrassed to hold the Universal title to the press conferences. So whatever. That was a big story. Also, before I get to the show, by the way, Raw is going to be in Boston tonight, so hopefully they give them a shitty show. The ratings are going to get hurt tonight because Donald Trump, it seems like Trump always does stuff on Mondays. Like, he did the thing with Kim Jong-un a few weeks ago, so it's always like WWE's going to get hurt. He used to draw huge ratings for Raw when he was with WWE. He'd always draw big ratings, but now he's really hurting them. But he's going to nominate the Supreme Court judge. So you have that. So Raw's going to get hurt by the ratings, obviously. And this show, when you have Roman Reigns start the show, may as well just watch, wait for Trump to make the big announcements, because no one cares about Roman Reigns on fucking Raw. And he cuts a promo on Bobby Lashley. Lashley comes up. Both guys are fucking terrible on the mic. And they have this huge brawl. They do this every year. Remember that one time they did it a few years ago with The Undertaker and Brock Lesnar? That was actually really good. But now they do it all the time. And then they showed Roman Reigns do the big dive. And they must have replayed that fucking dive 100 times on this fucking show. I'm so fucking sick of it. It's like, I don't want to fucking see Roman Reigns. I don't want to see him on my TV screen. Oh my god, I can't give a shit. I can give two shits about this fucking segment. I don't give a fuck what the fuck happens here. I don't give a fuck about Extreme Rules. That fucking card is shit. Pittsburgh has a shitty show. It's a fucking skippable show. What the fuck? I don't give a shit about Roman Reigns and Bobby Lashley. Anyway, Mickie James and Alexa Bliss were watching backstage. So no one cares about this Mickie James or this Alexa Bliss Nia Jax match. They've had so many terrible matches. You have Charlotte not wrestling, Becky not wrestling, Bayley and Sasha are both, they're probably just going to wrestle at SummerSlam. There's no point of wasting that Extreme Rules. But we have Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax, and then you have Carmella against Asuka. So yeah, those are your two champions, Alexa Bliss and Carmella. Anyway, They showed that fucking thing of Reigns doing the big dive. And we have Alexa and Mickie against Nia and Natalya. And I think every single heterosexual male could not concentrate on this match because of Alexa Bliss's ass. Holy fuck. This fucking woman. My god. I know, she's not a very good wrestler. And she's good on the mic and stuff. She has a lot of charisma. But I've been critical of her title. I don't think she needs to be champion for so long. But it's hard to blame WWE for wanting to push her. All she has to do is turn around and she has whatever she wants. So, Nia Jax pins Mickie James, and after the match, you have Alexa Bliss use the damn kendo stick and beat up Nia. Then Nia catches the stick, and then Bliss retrieves, and Nia breaks the kendo stick. So, they did the same angle they did Alexa Bliss and Bayley last year. Oh my god, I don't have to remind me of that fucking angle, but Alexa's winning, Ronda Rousey, the whole thing. This will probably be one of the featured matches because it's Ronda Rousey in the front row. If it was not, this match would be a fucking joke. What I think will probably happen, I can easily see something like this happen, is Ronda gets in the ring and she accidentally screws Nia Jax. She tries to hit Bliss and she hits Jax, and then Bliss gets the win, and they might set up a triple threat at SummerSlam. That can easily happen. I don't want to see Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax around each other anymore. This fucking feud sucks. They had something with Kurt Angle with Kevin Owens backstage. This is fucking terrible. This show is just dragging on and on. This show is so hard to watch. Raw is fucking horrible. After last week's disaster, you think they'd be motivated. They're in the major city. They're in Boston. I think they give them something. This show is fucking terrible. Guys, you have Mojo Rawley and No Way Jose on Raw. It's this big, go-home show. It's a big go-home show to Extreme Rules. You have Mojo Rawley and fucking No Way Jose wrestling. Mojo gets the win. They show Sasha and Bailey with a new therapist. I don't know what they're doing at Dr. Shelby, but Bailey's kind of cutting a promo on her. This was really quick. I mean, this wasn't long. This was like 30 seconds. They show Seth Rollins with Jinder Mahal. This is just fucking terrible. I mean, Brock Lesnar's dropping F-bombs. We have Seth Rollins and Jinder Mahal in this fucking skit on backstage of Raw. So Seth comes in the ring, and he's talking about Dolph, and that match bores the fuck out of me. It's a 30-minute snooze fest. That Extreme Rules card is fucking terrible. I mean, I think this show could be as bad as Backlash. I am not looking forward to anything on that fucking show. Seth and Dolph just boring the fucking hell out of me. I want to go to bed when I see that. Fall asleep. Yeah, I don't care. So they have Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas come out. They're making fun of Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. This stuff is just terrible. They're fucking terrible. This show is just awful. There's nothing on the show I like. Bray Wyatt, I mean, he got into a car accident. I'm glad he's alright, but that doesn't change the fact that the guy is fucking terrible. If there's one guy I'd wish they'd release, it's Bray Wyatt. He has completely go away. Bo Dallas wish he'd get released, but they won't get released because their dad's the IRS, and Curtis Axel, he won't get released because his dad's Mr. Perfect. But, I mean, Bo Dallas beat Matt Hardy, so I guess, we wonder what's going to happen on the pay-per-view. They're actually doing Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt against Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel on a pay-per-view. It's a fucking joke. They have all this talent not on the show. So you have McIntyre and Rollins in the main event. In the main event, so if Rollins beats McIntyre's banned. They show Reigns and Lashley again, and then they show this fucking terrible promo by Lashley with Renee. Show Tyler Breeze. I mean, Tyler Breeze is on Raw. I mean, they show Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan, and then it's weird what they do. Like, Liv Morgan always jumps on Sarah Logan's back, and she leaves with her on her back. I guess that's her gimmick. I mean, Ruby Riot's okay. Her knee injury isn't too bad. She'll be back soon. They show footage. They show some stuff with Bailey and Sasha in the counseling session. I mean, they're not going to show much of it. I think that match is being saved for SummerSlam. I don't think you'll see him at Extreme Rules. We'll show it at SummerSlam. They show Ronda Rousey being inducted into the Hall of Fame to UFC. They do this Alexa Bliss promo, and it's one of those stupid cell phone promos. She's going to be called the Raw Extreme Women's Champion. Not one of her better promos. And you have Ember Moon and Liv Morgan. The crowd's just completely dead for this fucking match. No one cares. They did this match last week. Ember Moon wins again. We all know. I mean, why do they have to show Ember Moon and Liv Morgan so many times? Ember Moon's good, but she's lost in the shuffle already. She'll be nothing in 6 months. She'll be a jobber. They'll keep her undefeated, then they'll beat her on the pay-per-view, and then she'll just be a jobber. They shouldn't have as much hype as Asuka. She had some hype, but not like Asuka hype, but I don't know what they're doing with her at all. They show Finn Balor, and it's just such a horrible promo. I mean, all these promos. I guess it's because the Brock promo was so good. All these fucking promos suck. These PG promos. Just, you have Kevin Owens backstage. You have Drew and Dolph enter, and with Kurt Angle. This is just terrible. This stuff sucks. Elias is in the ring. I like Elias. I mean, this was fun. He kind of roasted Boston at first. And he does the heel stuff, and then Baron Corbin comes out in some of the worst stuff. As I said earlier, I mean, we have Brock Lesnar dropping F-bombs on the UFC on Saturday to help solve the fight, calling people pieces of shit and motherfuckers, and slamming microphones into cameras, and we have this guy singing a fucking itsy bitsy spider to Finn Balor. That's what we have. That's how WWE sells fights. Finn Balor and Baron Corbin, like anyone in the world wants to see that piece of shit, dog shit match. Money in the Bank, I mean, Extreme Rules might be as bad as Backlash was. That show's going to be fucking terrible. Elias and Corbin win. I mean, why is Bobby Roode even still have a job? I don't know. Corbin pinned Roode. So I think Balor will probably beat Corbin for sure, but you never know. You have Kevin Owens and him and Braun Strowman having a cage match. then they have something with Bailey and Sasha, and next week they're gonna find the results. So I mean, SummerSlam, I'm just gonna save it. They're gonna drag this out. It's gonna be miserable. We'll see if Brooklyn cares about them, but I mean, there's no point in putting them on this waste of a pay-per-view that's called Extreme Rules. And Extreme Rules is gonna be 4 fucking hours. 4 hours. So then you have a Roman Reigns promo. Boring. Yeah. I have nothing to say. I mean, Renee just interviewed him. Same thing. Big dog, I'm the dog. Horrible fucking promo. Roman was fucking terrible in that promo. He has no personality, no charisma. This guy's a fucking bum. Main event was Rollins and McIntyre stuff. Drew says he can't be ringside in the Iron Man match. And match that went on for a while. I mean, they have Rollins main event Raw, I guess, on it now. But Drew got the win. Raw was a piece of shit. Boring ass show. No interest at all in Extreme Rules. And that's very much like a skillable show. Extreme Rules is just a nothing show. It's gonna be like 4 or 5 hours. It's gonna be so long. It's gonna be a terrible show. So I have like no interest at all for a go home show. Raw failed miserably on all levels.